the remembrance of the British history from Nelson to Wellington to Henry VIII.
Right.
How much is that also a factor of Britishism and nationalism, and how would you direct that conversation?
Yeah, I don't think it's being taught. I'm not sure, but I don't think that the schooling system is teaching, or certainly not teaching enough of it. I know that perhaps specific schools focus on potential military careers, but across the nation, I'm not sure how much of that history is really being given over to the next generation.
Do you think that is where the erosion possibly is?
Well, it always starts at education. All areas of prejudice and blindedness, shall we say, starts at the level of the youth and lack of education. And so, as a rabbi, I'm there to educate with all of the humility that entails, to explain the Jewish faith, and also to explain chaplaincy, and to hopefully offer a service, to serve and not be served, which is our motto, to all personnel, no matter of their faith or background.
The rabbi aspect and the Jewish aspect is potentially a good question to ask, that we remember everything yearly, from our slavery on Passover to those that were heroic in defending our people in Hanukkah.
Jewish people globally, no matter their level of observance, religiosity, are steeped in remembrance, as you say. Our festivals are all based around remembering something and celebrating the future. So, it's cliche, but it's true. If you don't know your past, how can you know your future? So, yeah, I think that the subject of memory is a huge subject, of course, but any culture, any society that's really worth its ethical and moral stand has to know about its history, has to give suitable remembrance to those who have offered the ultimate sacrifice to allow us to go on and to promulgate those values that we hold to be precious and dear.
So if you had the opportunity to pick one person of British history that British people remember and learn deeply, who would that be for you?
Militarily, certainly, it has to be Sir Winston Churchill. I mean, I've read some of his memoirs and biography, which is vast. If somebody would ask me, well, where should I begin? I would say Churchill.
What is your reason for that?
His leadership, his vision, his courage, his clarity of decision-making, his underpinning of pride in the nation with regards to conflict, his faith.
In many ways, when it comes to Churchill, his story gives inspiration of what it was seeing with the fear in society today, a knowledge that if you keep buggering on in his motto and his wording, you can end up being exactly what you just said, being a man that obviously was captured in the Boer War, to the Gallipoli campaign, to losing seats in Parliament, going from the Labour to the Tories, and this great journey. But when I ask what do you remember him for, it's really the last few years of his life that we do.
Right.
Then even lost prime ministership after beating Hitler. How do you
You've certainly done your homework on Churchill, it sounds to me.
With that great journey of his life, do you see an equivalent in what the nature of society is now, and the hope that no matter what people are feeling, the fears, the worries, the uncomfortabilities, that greatness can be just around the corner if we just keep buggering on?
I think that we're at a crossroads. I think that British society is at a crossroads. I think that it needs some serious leadership in forging the way forward. Being Jewish and being British is totally compatible, is totally expected, in my view. But there are many in Britain today who feel that their personal identity conflicts with their British interests. And so I think that this education and pride of what it is to be integrated within British society is to be reinforced. Whether that will produce another Churchill or not, who can tell? Who can tell? But greatness usually exposes itself when your back's up against the wall. So when needs be, there are always people that step forward.
And I think of all organizations, the RAF is definitely one which breeds those sorts of people.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, I've met some really outstanding leaders and individuals who carry out their duties to the highest level with pride and humility.
So the last question I'll ask is to those that are Jewish out there that are looking at Western countries that are having their difficulties with anti-Semitism today, and you standing in those same nations' service.
Yeah.
What would you say to all of us, and what's a message of hope, or maybe not, but I think yes, that you could give?
So to answer your question, to those people of the Jewish faith, don't be afraid, don't be a victim, stand up with courage and healthy pride of who you are and what you are and why you are. I'm an eternal optimist. I believe in the intrinsic good of the human spirit. The best is yet to come, and we will survive. We will overcome, and we will move forward into a new dawn. I know that some people would say that that's very naive, but I prefer to be naive than to be cynical.
That is a beautiful way to end it. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Much appreciated.
Thank you.
I'll give you a proper handshake.
Thank you, Rab.
There we go.
Thank you, Rab.
Cheers.